It's a bit slow, small. Let me
Yes.
do now. Is it good?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. I can also
Okay.
zoom it from my end, so that's fine.
Okay. So we'll start with the overall architecture, how Murex sits within your CRM domain, within the bank or an organization, how it is set up as a first time, then what are the different modules, what are the languages that are used within Murex, what are the login mechanism, and we'll talk about the user classifications, how the grouping of users happens in Murex. Then uh, I'll take you through within this whole course. I'll take you through the front office module. I'll cover uh, the actions and usage of the middle office also, and followed by how the back office and the post-trade uh, workflows work in Murex. I'll also touch upon some parts of risk when we talk about the middle, the market risk and the credit risk requirements. It's not the requirements as such, but how it looks like, what are the screen usages and all those, wherever possible, and some bits of I would say I'll also touch upon the market data, how market data and the static is being entered anywhere in case you during the um, session, or when I'll cover through it, in case there is something where, since you are doing this training for more job opportunities or something, and uh, then I would encourage, in case you have any prior experience or inclination towards one area, like let's suppose front office is something where majority of the people feels comfortable, because it is more like how you are putting in trade, what are the actions we are doing as a front office module owner, what are the things that we take care for front office when we work as a front office consultant. So feel free, what I'll do, I'll put in more focus on that module, so that if you have later after this training, if you have to build a profile around that, so you can uh, put more emphasis and focus on that specific skill set, and you can pitch in yourself as the front office consultant. Uh, Similarly, if you feel you are good at risk side, then we can talk more about risk. But front office, where I just said that majority of the people prefer, that is something which you can, as a front office user, you can correlate how things move, because that's the only area within the full trade life cycle, which is more relative to everyone, so people can understand like how it works, how it looks like, when we input the trade, what happens, and all those stuff. All these kind of risk accounting and your back office are kind of like more of a shadow uh, kind of roles, which are kind of work parallel to front office, but they are not. People can't easily correlate what are the day-to-day activities as that back office or a risk consultant. So let me know in case after first or second session you feel like uh, you want me to put more focus on the front office side also, because that is one area where I also has a good hold on, and I can uh, bring in my experience and in terms of real life implementations, and it can help you to correlate how and why of front office things also. But I've worked as a risk professional too, so I can cover that market risk and counterparty credit risk part too, in case you want me to go ahead. Okay, so this is how these are just few key highlights where we said that Murex overview and usage I'll cover the high level architecture, login screen, product classifications, GOM. I'll talk it through what is GOM. That's within Murex, it's called as a global operating model. Uh, then the language that is used between Murex, and each module kind of Murex has their own proprietary language which they use and their developers use to do changes within that module. Uh, then trade insertion, static data. financial contract and packages. When I say financial contract and packages, what is the difference between financial contract? When we say trade, so what actually trade corresponds to in terms of Murex terminologies? uh, One-stop processing, which is a back office action, pre and post-trade workflows, which is kind of, I would say, an engine. As we have an engine to the car, this is something to Murex pre and post-trade workflows. Then your contract workflows, settlement, exchange workflows, market data, what is the fixing on different instruments, uh, how does a reporting module look in Murex, what are the actions or what are their day-to-day responsibilities. Then as I said, that I will keep some buffer time for real life implementation scenarios walkthrough that will help you um, to build a profile around Murex. And then question and answer is something, it's not limited to end. We can always ask within the session, post session, during the start of the next sessions also. For today, we'll cover the introduction that we have already done, training overview, expectation and outcome. Again, we have covered it. I'll start with the introduction to Murex, usage, what are the modules within Murex, and general architecture. Anything on the course and the agenda side?
No, to be honest, the way you've structured the outline looks really interesting. So I'm looking forward to going through each of it, like, in detail. So yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. My personal since we are this is the first session, and it will take for you also, it will take some time to get kind of familiar with how I go about all these each module and the nitty-gritties of each and every details. But do do take some time and think about it, like in case you want to build a profile around one of the modules, so that also we can work correspondingly. It's not just because the agenda is from this training is to cover the whole Murex platform. But if you ask me practically, you would, in the whole, I would say, the Murex universe, or the pool of resources, you'll only see handful of people, maybe you can count it on fingers, who knows each and every module of Murex. When I say know, they know in detail. They are kind of like an SMEs for each and every module of Murex, the whole application. So rarely you will see, because it's within Murex organization as an organization. So when we talk about and we speak to their architectures, their architects and the people who have designed this application, who have worked from like I think 20, 30 years, 25 years with Murex, they also say that we are kind of like we have got good hand holding for one or two modules, not the whole Murex as a platform. So just keep that into your mind in terms of when we progress through this session. So within the time, in case during the tenure, if you want, we can build a profile around one or two modules. We can create that as a strong area for you. Cool. Mm, let's start with the introduction to Murex. As you already aware, so Murex is a capital market platform that supports front to raise to back operations for various entities of the bank. So uh, I would like to kind of give you an example. So how so Murex, generally speaking, so there were prior to Murex, so it is an old platform, but not that quite old. Prior to Murex, there used to be in-house applications which will cater to different functions within a bank. And when we say bank, so Murex is primarily targeted for bank's treasury and the markets operations, or the markets line of business, and which includes your investment banking, which includes your other capital market um, uh, operations like trading, hedging, risk management. Some banks use it for reporting purpose only. And when we talk about like Muse as an application in today's era, you would see there are some banks. primarily European banks, um, like not sure if you have heard of Rabo Bank. There are some banks like um, definitely you would have heard about Royal Bank of Scotland, and a couple of other examples also, which use Murex as a front to back to risk. And then there are some Australian banks also, like National Australian Bank, CBA Commonwealth Bank of Australia, some Asia Pacific bank, which is like DBS Development Bank of Singapore. So all these banks use Murex as their core trading platform, um, which range from front to back to risk. Like when we say front to back to risk, so that is a Murex terminology of saying that they have bought a full package from Murex as a bank, and their all the activities, be it front office, be it back office, middle office, accounting, risk management, all are handled by Murex platform. Then there you will see other banks also, um, who are using Murex primarily for their risk management and front office operation, or maybe one of them. It could be or and scenario also. Like some banks are using only for front office module from your they are only interested in front office. Some of them use it as a risk central system kind of, um, something where they would have different front office, different back office systems in house, or maybe bought from third party. But whatever is risk calculation, risk numbers, risk reporting happens, that they use Murex for that. You would rarely see a back office front Murex being used as a back office system. It would be a rare example. There may be a couple of them, but rarely banks use it, because the primary reason is, uh, if some bank is looking for only for a dedicated back office application, they go with different products, like Calypso being the world leader or the global leader in terms of back office. So it has its strength area, whereas Murex has its strength area in front office and risk management module.
Question.
Similarly, you have worked on, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, you mentioned Calypso. Do you do trading on Calypso as well?
Uh, Calypso, I don't take it. There used to be a trainer, but I don't know if that's available. So there used to be some trainings in Calypso also. You can
Okay.
you can inquire to this same training team. They may have
Oh,
some new trainers available with them.
makes sense. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Apologies
Yeah.
to stop you there.
No. Please ask whenever you feel so. So then the other part that I was saying is, like commodities. So when we it is it when we I spoke about uh, the module perspective, where Murex core strength lies, and there are other systems. If we talk about asset classes, so there are some clear winners in terms of asset classes, which Murex, you would see nearly every bank uses Murex for, whosoever is using Murex. So out of them, all of them would use is like FXMM. So when I say FX products, foreign exchange, then money market products. So those are the two asset classes, wherein, like, if a bank has Murex, they will definitely use it, because Murex aces into those asset classes. Then fixed income IRDs are also widely used. Uh, so you have worked in Endure. So commodities is something where there's an organization which deals only with commodities. They will not prefer Murex as such, because there is a market later like Endure, and other small platforms also. But Murex is not that much used in commodities. So there are banks who have used it, who are using Murex for end-to-end product and end-to-end their one sole application. So then they you would see a commodity asset class implementation coming in for Murex, but then it's quite rare. So only few of banks do those commodity tradings on Murex. So this is about the strength,
Can
or
I,
maybe strength or weak
sorry,
areas within Murex. Mhm.
apologies. Can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, please don't apologize. It's
I
you
don't
you
want
can
to.
you can
So
stop
the
me
thing is,
wherever you say.
I don't want to stop your stride or your flow. You know what I mean? It's like if you
I
stop the
understand.
flow,
I
then
understand. Yeah.
yeah. Well, okay. So you've just talked about the different asset classes that Murex, or rather, you talked about commodities, which obviously Endor, Allen are very good at. Now, when it comes to
Yes.
Murex, I know it's for trading financial assets, but what kind of financial assets are really core? For example, in Endor, you can use it for gas trading, you can use it for any for power trades. You know what I mean, like LNG and a few others. When you talk about Murex, what are the core, or
Mhm.
are we coming to that? What are the core assets that you use trading?
Yes, yes, I will. I
This-
will come to that. So,
Okay,
but I think we can answer it now also, because it's just a very basic question that we are asking. So, Murex, we can support FX. When I say FX, starting from FX cash, which is your or an
foreign
FX spot.
exchange.
When we Foreign exchange, FX is foreign exchange, and when we talk about FX cash or spot, it is directly like something where you are uh, buying one currency and selling the other one. Like in your case, it could be like if you're talking about dollar, US dollar. So there could be a trade where a front office trader is putting in uh, kind of a 1 million trade, where they are exchanging their GBPs worth of 1 million and buying USD in return. It could be reason could be n number of reasons, right? There could be a risk management activity, maybe a hedging that the trader wants to do against the dollar pounds. There could be, if it has this trade is being sent from a sales trading perspective, they may the trader may be kind of like using it for some speculations, or maybe it is something where there's an arbitrage opportunity. Maybe there could be something where there is a high margin users. GBP US dollar is not one of them, but then GBP INR or some GBP Brazilian real, those kind of emerging currencies or emerging country currencies, they may put in trades to get get more margin out of it, since those are more volatile. So there could be n number of reasons. So Murex supports FX cash, FX spot. This is a real life scenarios. Then FX swaps, which is your foreign exchange swaps, uh, cross currency swaps, uh, and exotics also. Similarly, if we talk about the IRDs or interest rate derivatives, then you could see interest rate swaps, the vanilla interest rate swaps being booked into Murex. It could range from vanilla to complex to very complex, like some options uh, uh, associated with those interest rate swaps. Then, if we go on the similar lines, I'm just talking very on a very high uh, uh, from a very high level, where I'm just taking you through the different asset class types. So, but yes, under IRDs you will, and then you would have FRAs, forward rate agreements. You would see different in overnight indexes swaps being booked into it. And then if you talk about fixed income securities, it would range from your loans, deposits, call loans, notice loans, all treasury products, kind of short term to long term. Then bonds, it could be a vanilla bond, a plain vanilla government bond. It could be a corporate bond. It could be uh, a bond which is kind of more complex in nature, where you have like kind of an equity derivative bond, wherein you have some options associated with it. Then bond futures, bond options, and similarly bank repo, reverse repos, all. So in finance world, all kind of products that you see under the umbrella or under the sun is something which is supported by Murex. Yes, there will be some strong areas. So whatever are the traditional products, Murex has a strong area in terms of overall life cycle management for those products. But then there are some products like credit derivatives, an MBS, a mortgage-backed securities, a credit default swaps. So all those complex products, you may, depending on how complex a bank you are or how complex trading you do as a bank, then you may like or not like the Murex flow or the life cycle management for these kind of products. But overall, whatever is traditionally booked and simple to understand in terms of finance, that's very effectively managed via Murex.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, did I answer your question, or any follow up on question on this?
No, no, that's fine. Thank you. There's a lot. So I'm just gonna pack it
Yeah,
here
yeah.
for now. Thank you.
It's a big list. It's a big list. But you, as
Yeah.
since you are transitioning from a different role to into capital market world, I and I presume you are already taking going through these product trainings and all separately, or maybe by yourself also. So just my suggestion would be, I'm not sure how hands-on you are into these products, the capital market world, but I would suggest, in case you are starting with that, just start with these basics like foreign exchange, FX, your money
Yeah.
market products, and at max IRDs. When I say IRDs, interest rate derivative, and under that also just touch on the basic interest rate swaps, vanilla, or some FX or cross currency swap. That's it. Don't go into the options and all, because those are more complicated in terms of management of the life cycle, and there are a lot of calculations, there are a lot of flows that kind of like generates out of it. So it becomes a bit difficult in terms of understanding and kind of like visualizing how this product would look like. So just stick to those bare minimum basic products. Money markets are very easy to understand, because those are something which, as a retail customers also, we don't deal in those money market products, but the similar kind of products uh, are available to us as a retail customer from different banks in which we operate. Like, we have our savings and our checking account available. So we do use, like, we do take loans, we do have fixed deposits, or that deposits that we keep with the bank to earn some interest, or maybe some payouts that they do, uh, they charge us onto. So similar lines is just like notice account, deposits, loans, your money market loans, short-term loans, short-term deposits. So similarly, on the similar lines, these products operate in the money market world. So they are easy for us to correlate to our day-to-day life. FX is also something where you go on. You go on some vacation or something, you come to some, I would say, uh, you go any countries, Australia, for vacation, or you go to I will not take European region, because there is something within UK and Europe. You have a very you can use very frequently the GBP, the pounds. But you go to Canada, you go to Australia, US, or maybe some Asian country, then you have to come and exchange your uh, home currency, the currency that you own, and then you exchange it with the currency for that country. So this is something which is an FX transaction that you as a tourist, or you as a individual is doing, but at a very 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 small level. It's like very small level, but since this is a genuine forex transaction that you are doing, because you are giving them the GBPs or the pounds. I would say, like, let's suppose £100 you are giving to someone, FX dealer, and in return they are giving the Aussies dollars in return. If you're so this is in real life example. So these products, FX, money markets, is something which you can easily grasp on, and you can then move to their complex stages. It would be easy. Bonds and all, they have lot of concepts like duration, tenors, curves, yield. So people get confused. So I'm talking about basis the previous experience that I have with the candidates who are moving new to these domains. So they tend to take the complex route, just to say that, okay, like, I can acquire the most difficult one, so that it's easy for me to get into the niche. But then what happens is, when they land up in discussions or interviews, there are some areas which is not which they don't know, because they have only read it through a theoretical explanation perspective. They've just done the reading of it. They have not done the practical experience of kind of handling those products. So then you get stuck. When it's easy to get jobs or move jobs, when you have a reading experience, or I would say just learned through different trainings and all these simple products. So you can easily explain them. And what I'll do during this sessions also, I have kept myself. Um, I'll keep on coming to FX, plain vanilla IRS product, and money market. So the examples that I'll show you are from those areas only. So because that's are easy examples to from a participant's perspective also to correlate with their real life.
Okay.
Okay, so then the next statement is Murex is an integrated, powerful platform for trading, risk management, and processing across asset classes. I think we have already touched upon into it, but let me know in case when you read through these and you have any question that pops up on your mind. Then the third one is Murex provides end-to-end processing to enable trades to be entered into a single system and transferred from one business area to another according to the state of the trade or action required. This is more of an interface. When we talk about Murex, it's not just limited on when we say a bank A is using Murex for trade booking. It's not always the case that uh, they are using Murex. So Murex has a inbuilt trade capture system or screen that or deal capture screen that they have created for themselves or for their users. So users do use those screens, which is known as e-trade pad, but then uh, it would not always hold true that all the trades that a trader would is capturing within a bank is only through that e-trade pad module. So there, when I talk about it, can be enable trades to be entered into a single system. That means there could be n number of systems, kind of an upstream systems interacting with Murex, feed trades into it. So to take you an example, so there are good real life examples where banks have implemented Murex as their front office, back office, middle office system, and but when we talk about trade capture or the way how trade would enter into Murex, they have enabled their in-house old traditional systems also. They are still using it because there could be XYZ reasons. Like one of them could be traders are already familiar on that trading application, and they want to capture the trade into that specific application only. It could be in-house, it could be a vendor products like iron trading. So there's a very popular product, iron trading. If you Google about it, you'll get. There's another popular product that uh, front office traders use is Wall Street. You must you can read through that also. So these are small systems which are kind of more of trade capture modules or a deal capturing systems. Um, and then majority of the banks used to have these different systems within their ecosystem. And when we talk about Murex and Calypso, so these are um, two of the major big players in um, kind of in major players as a trading platforms, because they what they did is when they entered into the market, they gave customers a choice, an option where they can integrate a whole lot of 60-70 systems that they are using uh, into their own only one system as a system which can replace all these different systems. So I have personally also worked on an implementation where for a bank we decommissioned around 80 plus odd systems, which are interfaces like kind of an upstream to the upstream systems, downstream systems, and replaced it with Murex as a one trading platform, end to end, managing end to end product lifecycle. So this is where I say, so we as a bank, they have taken a decision to, from a cost perspective, from a management perspective, like in terms of system maintenance perspective, also it becomes easier. But then Murex does not restrict you. You can anyways, anytime go and link an upstream system to Murex, feed in trade can be captured into that system A. You can feed that into Murex, and vice versa. There could be n number of systems that you can connect from downstream of Murex. Let's suppose you don't use a back office, Murex back office module. So and as a bank, and then you do front office in Murex, you do risk management middle office in Murex, and then you feed out all those trade to your legacy or to your chosen back office module or reporting module or reporting system. So you can connect as many as downstream and upstreams to Murex. So it's very
Okay.
flexible in that. Next part is
Do they
Murex
have
isn't
like
limited to
do they have like a module in Murex that they use for the integrations or
yes, yes. So there is a
okay.
there is a integration. I would say it's not a module as such, but I'll explain it during our sessions. I'll walk you through that. There are some exchange or integration interface that is available in Murex that talks about um, your upstream interfaces, your downstream interfaces, or within the trade life cycle. If I have to move my trade outside of Murex to an X system, that also is possible. Okay, I'll give you a real life example for this also. You can have Murex as you are capturing a trade into Murex into front office, and within a life cycle, if you want that, I don't want to use Murex risk module. I have, as a bank, have a well-established system. Or well-established application that is capable of handling my that is already that we are as a bank is using for my risk computations. So I want to feed out this trade out of Murex between this trade life cycle to this risk application. It it generates it it does the risk processing, generates war number, generates all those exposure reports, compliance reports, send it to regulator. Then again this trade gets feed into back from that application and resumes its the whole trade flow. So what I'm saying is it is moving from within Murex, moves out of Murex, again comes back into that same phase, then completes its journey to middle office, reporting, back office modules. That also is feasible, and there are banks doing that too. So in that manner, it's a very flexible system or platform to have.
Okay.
In the next, mhm. Murex, next point is Murex isn't limited to a specific financial instrument. It boasts a cross-asset capability, allowing you to manage a wide range of products from equities and derivatives to commodities and foreign exchange. This eliminates the need for disjointed systems and streamlined operations. So I think we already spoke about it. There are a lot of asset classes that can be used within Murex. Then the next is Murex is known for its robust technical foundation. It's primarily built on Java, a widely adopted and maturing programming language in the enterprise world. So the it is built on Java, but as a Java developer, as of now, you cannot um, go and do any changes into Murex. So what happens is the core code of this application remains with Murex as an organization itself. They will not give you the full code. What they will give you is like if you are a bank who has opted for Murex and it's a new implementation, their engineers would come in, they'll deploy their packages and the whole product setup into your application or your ecosystem, and then mm, they'll work along in terms of implementing it. They at some time they will move out, and then you have your IT team or you have your engineers or uh, a team of business analysts, testers, developers maintaining this application. But Murex as a product organization will keep on sending you updates in terms of uh, regular upgrades that happens within their versioning or their version upgrades. There could be some upgrades that they are doing or a patches that they will be sharing it with you as a bank or as a client, mentioning that there are some new regulatory changes that have come um, into the system now in order to make yourself or your bank capable or enabling it for yourself. You have to buy this package, so they'll keep on sending you subscriptions and all those kind of like packages and version upgrades. And there have been scenarios where some banks have said no, that will not upgrade. So what impact it would cause is at some point, like let's say 5 years down the line, and you are on the same version, you as a bank has taken a decision, no, you will not invest much, nothing more on Murex, a versioning upgrade or something of patches. You'll not buy anything from them. So what they'll do, slowly they'll say, whenever you raise an issue with them that this functionality is broken, it is not working, our engineers have looked into it and they are not able to fix it. They'll say, okay, because you are on the X platform or you are on the X version, that's why the support is dying for that. And similar kind of what Microsoft does it with you in terms of your as a retail
Yeah.
customer, you have to get their upgraded, most upgraded, and you have to keep on paying to them. So similarly, that's how their whole business model is working,
Module.
because they keep on
Yeah.
releasing the packages. Yeah. So it creates a
What version are
dependency.
they on now?
Okay, so so current version for Murex is the most recent one, is I think 62. That's where cloud is coming into picture. They are in talks with AWS, or they are implementing the AWS version onto it. So that's version 62. Uh, and version 62 is the most recent one, which I think I don't think as of now there is any bank that is already upgraded onto it, but there are talks about banks going to upgrade into some into this version. You would see,
Okay.
that's why you would see in couple of months, I think. mm, Oh, I would say if not months also. These days also, you'll see a lot of Murex jobs popping up, because there are a lot of banks, European, UK bank, Australian banks that are going through these version upgrades.
So when you say it's moving to the cloud, AWB, um, was it not on cloud? Is it not a cloud based before? It says software
No,
as
no,
a
no, 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 no.
service.
Yes, it's software as a SaaS, but it says yes, but then very limited functionality. Now, what they are saying, they'll move their code also onto cloud, and I think there is some we as a consultants are also not clear what is coming as part of 62, but they are saying it will make clients' life easy, because they'll be releasing some APIs into their code, and people can, some of the codes they'll release for which clients can also tweak. The developers at their client side can also tweak, and they can customize based on how according to their needs, because as of today it's a very closed box. You don't know, you can build around n number of things around it, but you cannot go within that box. You cannot touch the code, the core code and all those stuff. But now I think
Hmm.
there are something which people are saying that they may release some bits of codes also, and then you can manage it as a client. So it's
Right.
software as a service is very, because this is also something that recently came. I think from version 52 or 51, they have started it as a software as a service. Otherwise, it was a very hardcore thin client based, right? And even there used to be scenarios where a bank has bought n number of licenses, and if those n number of licenses are already uh, consumed, and they get back to Murex saying that we need five more licenses, they'll say no, no, because you initially you mentioned you'll only use 100 licenses. Just delete some some of your licenses, or delete some of the users that are using it, remove them, and you can utilize that. So it used to be very kind of like
Rigid.
very rigid in
Hmm.
terms of all those stuff. So, but now they are, in order to meet those meet this competition, I would say, uh, with other applications. So they are moving to cloud based. They are releasing some code. They are making themselves more flexible and open to market. So that was the reason you would not have seen much Murex resources floated into the market. There were lot limited number of areas within the geography, so global geography. London used to be one location where you would see Murex resources available. Then uh, if I talk about Europe, there were bits and pieces like Paris, because it's a Paris-based organization. So you would see consultants in Paris. Then there were few European areas where you would not see a Murex resource at all. US, Canada, you would see very few people as a consultants there. India, because there were when this implementation were then they were focusing, their focus area was APAC. They had got good number of Indian banks who which actually implemented Murex much before the European banks and US and Canadian banks. So then the resource pool was available, always available in India. And now there are a lot of banks who have offshored their work into India, and then the teams are managing bigger Murex practices are there in India. Similarly, Singapore, you will also see good resources coming in. Australia now coming in because there are some couple of Australian banks who have opted for Murex, more than couple, I think. So now the resource pool is being built. But going forward, it is expanding only.
Hmm. So did you say Murex
Uh,
is a French company?
Yeah, yeah, it's a Paris based organization. So they are
Oh, yeah.
headquartered in Paris.
Right. Okay.
Now, what is the features of Murex? Talking about cross asset functionalities. So, um, so like equities, supports equity trading, including. So this is something that we spoke when you asked this question. So I gave you that answer. So it supports equity trading, including cash equities, equity derivatives, structured products. Similarly, on income, fixed income products, bonds, interest rate derivatives, and other fixed instruments like FRA, your repos, reverse repos. Uh, then commodities is something I have not seen much, and I have personally not worked on Murex implementation in terms of commodities. Covers trading and derivatives, supporting the wide range of underlying assets like metals, energy, and agriculture products. FX and money market. Um, this is your money market instruments, loan deposits, short 90 days call notices, 30 days call notices, all those kind of products. They have good templates where you can do bulk bookings, you can do whole end-to-end life cycle management. Um, then similarly, credit products we have already saw, mortgage-backed securities, credit default swaps, and all integrated solutions. So this is one of those points where I said that you can feed out something, then again feed in back the same trade details, and it follows the whole life cycle. It restarts the whole life cycle. So it has an integrated solution where you can have n number of disjointed systems connected to Murex, and then they can feed in, feed out to Murex. Scalability and performance is something which is now they, they have so every, I think, like other every other application or every other global product. So it is Murex has adopted a new ways of working where CI/CD ways of working is done the DevOps way. Uh, Now you have those. Initially, it was not there. You will surprise. So yeah, it was very. I would say a waterfall kind of model that used to be followed in Murex implementations, and now each and every bank is opting for those DevOps way, and also you'll have those pipelines for development where a developer will go ahead and make the changes and merge into the development pipeline followed by release pipelines, and you have testing pipelines also that are being created. So it's like each and every other bank is following this now, because that's what Murex also suggests as part of their if let's suppose there is a bank which is on very old version and they are opting for their new version. So prior doing that upgrade or their version